So next speaker that we have is Guha Prasad. So he got an admit to IIM-A PGPH. Just to clarify, IIM-A PGPH is not the 2-year course. It is the 1-year executive course for managers. So Guha Prasad, he is working at a senior position. He's working as a VP for investment bank, and for him to take the decision at a later stage in his life, what prompted him, what are the things that went through, and where he is today. We would like to hear from you about it.
Hi, good evening friends. My name is Guha Prasad, and I recently broke the record of being the youngest person to join Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. Okay, so just brief about myself. So I have an experience of about 20 years. I am a career banker. I have worked across different banks, and not like to name them. It's too boring to talk about that. But then it's been nearly 20 years, and you would like to ask that why an MBA or a PGPX at this late stage? I have had a fantastic career till now. My performance rating is absolutely fantastic. And I'll definitely share those reasons with you, but then there is some triggers which prompted me to go for this particular qualification and the institute as well. Yeah. So guys, everybody should ask oneself a question, that what is the time zone one person is in. The reason for me to do an MBA from a particular institute, both are equally important, not just doing the MBA, but from that particular institute, both are equally important. You have to ask yourself, what is the primary objective, what is the time zone in. A person who is new, who wants to do MBA from IIM, his objective will be very, very different from the person who has 10 years experience versus somebody who has had 20 years of work experience in the industry. So all the object, in fact, I want to just give you a small statistics on the kind of people who have joined along with me. Some of them are as versatile as some person is working in Lok Sabha, some person, so a couple of people are working in Government of India, some people are working for NGOs, some people are already CEOs of their own, successful entrepreneurs, some successful brands, and which you use on a day-to-day basis. And definitely, yes, all of them have their objectives, but the objectives of each and every person is very, very different. Kindly do reflect with yourself that in what time zone you are in. That is the first point of starting. Now, what are the 3 primary reasons what motivated me to do this? One, of course, is the career progression. Career progression is the primary driver for me. Now, for all career bankers, usually, if you say, the career lasts for about 40 to 50 years. Yeah. So, say for example, if I started my career at 20, if I'm looking at to finish my career at 60, we have a long period of 40 years. And now, banking is a knowledge-intensive job. As a result, they tend to continue for another 5 to 10 years as well. And it is not uncommon to find in international banks people who are at higher age of 65, 70. It is not surprising at all. So if I say that I have 20 years of experience, I still have say 2 or 3 more decades to go, a long period to go. That is one. And I do need to look at the fact that how I will progress in my career. Now, I'm a BSc Honors in Mathematics. I'm not an engineer, but more like a maths graduate, and I did it from Delhi University. Now, at a certain level, what happens is that as you want to target super senior roles for yourself, what typically happens is that apart from, it's like a pyramid, right? You have grown to a certain level, and what typically happens is that you are being interviewed, you are being evaluated at all stages. Now, if you want to move a super senior level, there are 3 things very important. One is the pedigree. Pedigree is nothing but the institute from which you come from. That is critically important. The second is your work experience, the quality and the level of work experience. And the third thing is, of course, the performance ratings or the skill set that you are going to bring across to the table. All 3 are equally important. However, if the pedigree is not there, might be that you will not even be considered for those super senior roles. Now, does this mean that you don't exist in the system? No. Yes, you continue to exist in the system, but in a very different way. Alright? But really, do you want that for yourself? Is the question that you need to ask. So the first and the most important reason for me was career progression. And of course, the second one was to reboot and upskill myself. Now, again, I'm speaking from the banking point of view because of the fact that, again, you might be in different industry, technology, auto, or any other industry where you are, and you have to see whether do you want to progress your career in that particular industry, or do you want to do a change of the industry as well. Say somebody who is into finance might want to move to technology, or somebody who's in technology want to move to an NGO startup, etc. Now, in terms of my career aspirations, I want to continue my career on the back, and the institute that I selected definitely has a very good tradition of having lots and lots of senior people in the banking industry. Again, a lot of changes in my industry in terms of blockchains coming in terms of artificial intelligence, in terms of cloud computing. These are going to definitely have a tremendous amount of impact on the industry I'm working in. So I thought that I will go ahead and reboot and upskill myself. That is the second objective that I had in my mind. And the third, of course, like Arun pointed out, that it's an investment into the future, right? So you still have lots and lots of amount of time to be spent in your career in which you want to invest. So as a result of which, you should not see what you have already, say for example, somebody who already has 10 years of experience, so as I was pointing out. But he should also look at that he still has another 30 years to go for, and that is something that we should consider before making this investment. Yeah. So these are the three major objectives I had in my mind. And also one more thing, in terms of GMAT, I made only one attempt at GMAT and I got a score of 700. And Arun, in fact, I wanted to go for another attempt to increase my score, but Arun, convinced me that 700 is good enough, given that I already have some solid work experience. Now, in terms of my application, I made the first application. I did one application, and it is the second time that I got selected. So the first time I was not selected because the professors did feel that I don't have a global kind of a profile. And of course, during the next 1 year, I did work on that, and it is my second attempt at the interview that I got selected for IIM-A. So that was my overall journey. But however, thanks a lot to Arun and Crackverbal setup. Definitely, they helped me to crack this at the first attempt, and I'm pretty much happy with this overall result. And again, in terms of my application, I applied to only one institute. I was very choosy about and very specific about where I wanted to apply and where I wanted to get into. But definitely, as those who are younger lot, I would not like to suggest the same strategy for them. Please do apply at many institutes. For me, I had a particular specific objective, what I wanted to do here. Yeah.
Cool. So great. Any questions? Any questions, and then we can clap. Any questions? None? So I think, in terms of what I liked about Guha Prasad was also the clarity and focus, and the fact that when he took the GMAT, he knew that, the chances of getting into one school was, it's just a probability thing, right? But the focus that he had for GMAT was commendable, and that's one thing that I would like to tell you. Take the GMAT out of the equation, right? What will happen, we don't know. Make sure you take the GMAT and make sure that that part of the thing kind of gets all the way, right? So no questions. Then okay, suddenly 3 hands went up. Okay.
So often we talk about the kind of effort we have to put after we start working. So most of us we are into 2 to 5 years of experience. So how difficult was it for you to get back into the mood of that studying and all these things?
My simple suggestion: sleepless. Okay, so yes, it is going to be tough. What typically happens is that you're working throughout from Monday to Friday, and most of us do. In Bangalore, I've seen people typically working for 9 to 10 hours a day. Yeah, and traffic adds to the overall work stress. But then again, on Saturdays and Sundays, luckily all the classes that I attended was on the weekends, and that was a stretch, to be honest. But however, you might have to make that commitment to yourself, saying that yes, you are going to put in those extra hours. Again, there are ways and means of working that out. Again, for example, I study best in the morning. I like waking up very early in the morning. That is 5 to 7, 2 hours per day, and you have to strategize yourself. It is definitely possible because all the other people who have got selected are also people who have been working at a senior level. So they have been able to manage it. It's just that you need to plan it out and implement it. I'm sure it can be done.
So your question is, with 4 years experience, you are not able to study?
Yeah.
So you said 20 years ago. But good question. So we have one more question online that has come up, Guha, which is, with your experience, do you look forward to a career shift or growing within the function?
Yeah, sure. Yes, I am not looking for a career shift, but I want to grow in the same industry. Yeah, that is the key factor, because typically, doing a career shift at this stage is definitely feasible. Even if you want to go into consulting, even if you want to go into tech or any other field, definitely. But what typically happens is that you don't start at a senior level. You have to start at the analyst or the entry level. Companies are pretty much open to giving you that chance, but they will also make those expectations very, very clear, saying that you need to, join at the entry level or might be a little bit senior, but then you have to work your way up. Now, there are people who are brave enough to take that call, but however, given that I'm pretty much satisfied with working in where I'm working, in the industry where I'm working, I would like to consolidate my experience for around that. It is for career progression. Yeah.
So you take a last question?
Yeah.
You have around 15 plus year experience. So in interview, actually, they are asking about career in school, college, and work. It's not specific to only work experience.
Would they worry about school and college, or would they focus only on work experience?
Okay, I'll give a brief on how my interview went. See, the IIM-A professors are pretty much, and in fact that's true of all the good colleges, they are pretty much informed of what you have done. Don't expect a question like, as you walk into the interview, that tell me something about yourself. They will start asking, they would have already gone through your profile in detail. They would have specific questions in mind for you, which includes school, which includes colleges, of course, it is going to include your work experience, which is the most key factor, but however, plus your co-curricular activities as well. So they will be well prepared, and that will be an interview which tests you on all the grounds. Yeah. For example, a question to me was, why do you don't want to be the Prime Minister of India? So you can expect some sort of an off-the-cuff questions as well, which are not very conventional types, but however, usually the questions always cover all these aspects. So you have to be well prepared. If you did a BSc Honours in Mathematics, they are going to grill you, why a BSc Honours in Mathematics, why not a BSc Physics or Chemistry or even a BSc General course. And you need to have a valid answer for that. Again, just to add on to that, they will also de-sell the course to you. If you say that I want to be X, I'm currently X and I want to be Y after this course, they will say you can always take some part-time trainings and be Y. They are always going to de-sell the course to you. They are not going to say that, okay, no, yes, you come and you will be able to achieve. They are going to do that, and you will have to have some very, very valid reasons that why you are here, for what purpose you are here. If you are not able to convince them, their selection is not possible. Yeah.
Just one question.
Okay.
Just like to ask that how much minimum year of experience is required for executive MBA, and do you need to be a manager to be an executive MBA?
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Thank you for asking that. See, as far as the I can say that there are two courses. One is the PGP, which happens through CAD.
Just to kind of repeat the question, it is A, with regards to do you need management experience? B, what is the minimum experience?
Absolutely.
Because there are people listening, that's why I want to repeat.
Sure. So what typically happens is that there are the people with minimum 7 years experience and plus apply for the PGPX. Anybody with less than 7 years experience usually applies for the PGP in CAD. Now again, there is no specific criteria for this, but however, for applying for PGPX, you definitely need an experience of 7 years plus. Now the second question was that, do you need to be a manager to apply? The answer is no. you can definitely go ahead and apply irrespective of what role you are currently in. Now, however, what is more important is that the question is that what is the value addition you have done to your current job, and that is the question that you will be grilled upon. Say for example, if I am being an analyst for the last 7 years without any promotion, that definitely is a red flag, right? People are going to ask you that what you have been doing for the last 7 years and why you are not grown up in your ladder. So it is definitely not important, but however, these are the high, and if you are not getting promoted, you should have a very, very valid reason why it did not happen at the first point. So that is extremely important, that in case you have achievements in your career or popular activities other than your actual job, you highlight that as well, so that your applications become overall solid and well grounded, so that you can actually market yourself to the AdCom. Does that answer your question? Yeah, sure. Thank you.
So, thanks a lot. I think we had a great session with Guha Prasad. So,
Thank you.